then finally go out to a public place, but still only pay attention to you. My whole family is emo, so yes, I'm offended by your comment. Definitely don't expect to see me back on your website again. I have a short poem. I'll read this now. I'll recite it. It's called Airmail My Mom a Purse Full of Meg Ryan Shit. The best way to win a race is to love how it feels to be running. It's very wise poetry. It could be in a school planner. It could be in an inspirational poster with the words. It'd be a silhouette of a man running, and it would say, the best way to win a race is to love how it feels to be running. That's Steve Roggenbuck. His poem, Airmail My Mom, a purse full of Meg Ryan shit. If your infant doesn't have a personal brand, they simply don't exist to me. How do you expect an infant to hold their own in the competitive preschool environment without a social media presence to bolster their personal brand? It simply doesn't happen. Alright, I'm going to read a sequence of poems now called Freeze My Poop Using Colder Poop. In the countryside where my dad lives, it is beautiful with windmills and stars. And I know we can help each other achieve for free the fulfillment that corporations are trying to sell us. Fuck yeah, dude! Justin Bieber is my fucking dad! Nothing is promised in the future. Right now is the time to be with people. And fuck any poet who wouldn't tell their audience, I love you, because it's a cliche. If you're reading this, I love you. If you're alive, I love you. Everybody I see hurting, and I don't want them to hurt. I want you to be okay. I don't know how to stop you from hurting, but I will try to do it. I wish I was better at it. I want to stand for what is right to me. I don't want to do anything that I think is bad for humans or other animals or anyone. I want to work harder than I have been. I want to be hugging you. I wish that I could take care of you. Somehow, I don't want you to be cold or alone. You are beautiful and deserve to feel good. Just be very aware what kind of person you want to be, okay? And then be that kind of person as much as you can. If you mess up, just get back to it. I love the simple and beautiful trees. I love the simple and wonderful rain. I am excited to be in the world. Attention, people who don't think you are doing enough to help others. You are beautiful for having that fear. You are my kind of person, and I love you. If I'm successful on Earth, then my life will seem like a hug that took 80 years to give. A hug is the perfect poem. And I'm terrified of getting attacked by alligators. At the dance, I think about how suits and uniforms are the external embodiment of the emotional deadness beaten into men by patriarchal socialization. I think about how boys are raised to be weapons. And why does it cost so much to be alive? I fucked Shrek and blew him for $190, and after all this, I still support fundraising efforts to give iPhone 5s to wild animals. Our life is so weird, I'm sorry. Please, recognize your death is coming and cultivate love toward everyone you can. Whoop, whoop. So what? I'm here from the United States, which is far away. Woo! And I think that you have accents that are very cool and funny. And I think that listening to many of you talk, I feel that you are doing your accents on purpose to have fun. And I feel that everyone in this country has just decided to make it a fun country where you do fun accents all the time. Congratulations that you have caused me to feel this way. I'm going to read some parts from a poem called "At Every Moment, the Fact That You Are Floating on a Rock in Space is Valid and Important to Consider Among Your Other Concerns." This is very important to me because, as you know, when you go through life, there's many things to be ticked off about, worried about, annoyed about, stressed about, worried about, etc., all those things. Sometimes those things are very real, sometimes those things are very important to focus on at times, but also, at every single moment, very weird, fucked up, miraculous things are happening, such as the outer space thing that I mentioned, and also other things such as more local things like looking at your own hand and being like, what's going on with that? And I've been learning a lot about anatomy and physiology, basically all the details of the small things going on inside of me. And I have been blown away to learn about how small some of it is. I made a video in December where I was expressing my bewilderment about the fact of there being approximately 500 million air sacs in a set of human lungs. What's going on? They have to be very small to fit in there, because that's a very high number, you guys. So I just want you to know. Whoop, whoop. Dear reader, I love you, and I'm the only person on earth who loves you, so you better love me also. Imagine a world in which all alcohol consumption was replaced by people hanging out with dogs. A man goes on a month-long bender playing with dogs in his apartment. Rebellious teens partying with dogs. Dude, let's swing by the animal shelter, pick up some dogs for the party. I posted an Owl City song on my Tumblr, and it only got 2 notes. How am I supposed to help people if they refuse to help themselves? Question about Land Before Time. How is their narrative? Imagine someone eating and screaming, like eating a full meal and screaming constantly between mouthfuls.
Yeah.
See if you can fit that banana in your dad's ass. Could probably become a common saying. Similar to, how do you like them apples? Similar saying. Mom, the stars are beautiful. Mom, I love them stars. I want to put my sweatshirt hood up, but it's already up. I want to write 666 in all caps. The wind blows the trees. Mom, fuck everyone who has ever lived. That's my teen angst poetry right there. I'm the fucking corn of poetry. I'm the head PE of poetry. I'm the drowning pool of poetry, you guys. Who here likes to fucking skateboard? Okay. This is a birthday card inscription. To my nephew on his birthday. I'll choke your dad. I don't care. I'm not afraid. Okay, I'll read this poem now. I'll read this poem now called Sleep With Me Until We Are Birds at the End of the World. I'm crying with my face on the side of a buffalo. It rains on my mouth. There's nothing for me to say in the rainstorm. It is just a rainstorm that I am in. The sad men of my country are too much. America, I am not bored with my life. America, I am alone, but I am not completely alone. I am on the internet. When you are dead, I think you will miss your problems. You will miss how everyone is a separate person. You will miss how every person, every tree, every body of water, every city, every single thing is different and has its own way and its own personality. Go somewhere on a mountain. Anywhere on the mountain, your cat seems awesome. This is my best October of my life. Everything in the world makes me hurt. Die with me, 60-year-old man. Die with me, 40-year-old man. I want to be dead in a tractor tire for a year. There is nothing left to wait for now. It is 6 in the morning, and I am calling you something bird-related. That's my beautiful love poetry, you guys. That poem reminds me of a couple of readings I've done when I was pissed off. Or like sad, like really sad, and it's like most of my poetry is like either really funny or like really like positive, and so it's funny if I am trying to do a poetry reading when I feel crappy. It's hard because like I don't have that much material that fits that mood. But I've done a couple of readings where I was in like a pretty bad mood, and I just started reading all my like darker poetry, but then I ran out of it, so I had to start reading happier poetry, and then by the end of my reading, I was happy. So, nice. I'll read you guys some more beautiful love poetry that has a 100% success of that. God likes it. God likes my poetry. Woohoo! Who here likes pistachios? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. This is called Every Comparison Between a Non-Human Animal and You Seems Accurate. Yeah, have y'all ever been in love with somebody in such a way that you felt that every non-human animal reminded you of them? One person, I saw a hand. Woohoo! When I'm doing anything with you, I think I want to do this with you until the end of the year of the horse. You are more amazing than a horse. You seem like rain passing through lower clouds. You seem like you are a toy bird full of live birds. You seem like in the universe there is nothing softer than you. I like you so much, I view your snaps for the whole 10 seconds. With you, the silence of the moon is not like usual silence. It is more long. It is like there are parts of you so quiet I could not even put my ear on them. I can only whisper onto you. You are barely like rain, but you are close enough that I have to say it. I don't know the name of your body's language, but what it says to me is more compelling than the sun. There is nothing more compelling than the sun, but your body is more compelling to me than the sun. I think the way you touched me is like a koala. The air at the top of the night. Small bears walking on corn stalks. You, gentle bear. How I like you now is impossible for me to shut up about. Go in the night with me. Go with me in there. Give me something small from the inside of the night. Oh yeah! And I guess it is Valentine's Day, isn't it? Who wishes that Bam Margera was here? That's what I'm talking about. Who here would pay $50 if it meant Bam showed up? Like you pay 50, like you send $50 to somebody on PayPal. 5 minutes later, Bam Margera is in this room. Who would do it? Who would pay £50 for that? Because that's a little higher. Not as many. I would do it though. You guys, it's an investment. Think of how much money you could make off exploiting Bam while he's here. Come on, guys, think critically. Okay, I'll read some more love poetry to really get you guys in the mood. Who's Bam? Bam? Margera?
Yeah, who's it?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Oh, you guys don't know? He's a skateboarder, and he was in Jackass, that show and that movie, and he had his own show called Viva La Bam, where he annoyed his parents, basically. And he's rich. He's rich and he skateboards and annoys his parents, yeah. Anyway, he's a teen.
He didn't die.
Or teens like him. Okay.
People seriously don't know how much they do.
In the absolutely dark sea, I have birds that land on me and go inside me. You are something softer than star-filled night. What can I do with your moonlighted and bare knees? What is there now? My mouth is for you. My permanently bird-filled mouth is for you. Like an ocean, my birds are toward the outside of me. My flowers fall onto you on your mouth, and sometimes you are in my flowers, and sometimes I have flowers falling on you and off you. I am like various animals when I am with you. I can't even tell which ones. Show me quiet airplanes landing in you constantly. Be in me like my breath is. I sing into your mouth pretending you are dead, and it sounds like you are the ocean. I hold your mouth like a cup. It sounds like you are full of what the sky is full of. Y'all, I was hanging out with a dog in Berlin, and it was a big dog. It was a Dalmatian dog, and it made horse sounds. It literally would go, and I was like, whoa. Nice. I'm going to read a wacky poem that I don't usually read. But do y'all like poop? Y'all like poop or what?
Yeah.
What about this? Okay, hands in the air. Hands in the air if you like poop. I'm sorry, this seems childish, but okay, now hands in the air if you like dead clowns. I think even more people like dead clowns. I'll have to put out some. I'll read some dead clown content in just a bit. Okay. But right now I'm going to read some poop content, of which I have a lot. You know, I was doing this one reading in California last month, and I decided partway into the reading that I was only going to read poems of mine that had the word poop in it somewhere. And I successfully only read stuff that had the word poop in it for the rest of the reading, and I did a fine length of reading. I did quite a long one. Okay. This poem is called Kiss My Dad at a Shinedown Concert. Pat my dad's poop. Spank my poop. Whip my poop on the web. Call my dad's landline phone with Google Voice to have phone sex with my dad. Whip my poop when I'm bent over my dad's riding mower. Whip my poop at me when I'm skateboarding. Buy my dad's poop on Gumroad. Buy my dad Skull Candy headphones on eBay. Give my dad a PacSun gift card. Whip my dad's poop with a guitar string. burn my dick pic on a CDR, stick an Ethernet cord in my dad's poop, shoot dried poop at my dad, whip a turd at my dad's plasma TV, scan my dad's poop at a co-op, airmail my dad a bean, hit my dad's PacSun gift card with a sandwich bag of poop. Okay. That's enough of that for now. Wow. Just wow. Let's get some dead clown content in here. Alright. Woohoo! This is my book, this is my book of stories. It's called Calculating How Big of a Tip to Give is the Easiest Thing Ever. Shout out to my family and friends. It's I had to, once I thought of the title, I was like, I gotta use that soon, or somebody else might take it. And I got it. Oh, I'm trying to find this dead clown content. I have a few in here, but okay, yeah. Now, okay, so this is kind of interesting because I read this story in Lansing, Michigan, and my dad was there. And I read it. I read the title. I said, the title is "Attack My Dad with a Bunch of Candles." Attack my dad with a bunch of candles. And he was there, and I was like, "Oh, don't worry though, Dad. Like, people know it's a joke." And he was like, "Okay." But I think he was a little weirded out. But I haven't ever shown him the one that I just read you about, all his poop. Okay, this one is gonna rock you. There's a sick fuck named Glenn. Glenn likes eating pulp from juicers. It's weird, I don't trust him. Anyhow, Glenn has a problem. He loves the moon. Sexually, romantically, whatever. He wants to have its babies. Ooh! Glenn writes love letters to the moon all the time. They say, "Shine your hot ass light down on my broke ass." Hee. I'm broke for you. Wow. Come on, Glenn. Get it together. Are you serious? Anyway, one day, Glenn's pals Connor and Pippin come over to play. They shoot at Glenn with BB guns and he runs around saying, "Don't!" It's their favorite game. At night, they sit around a fire saying their deepest secrets on life. Pippin says, "I have a pet baby. I got a baby human that I use as a pet in my home." Wow. Unexpected. Kind of dark. Connor says, "I love getting whacked with bamboo paddles on my neck." Before anyone can fully react to that, a dead clown falls out of a passing helicopter and lands very near to Glenn and Pippin. "Ah!" Glenn turns around and immediately says, "I need to go buy tortilla chips now!" Then, suddenly, for unrelated reasons, a bison appears, charging directly at Glenn. "Ah!" Glenn shouts again. But then, Pippin uses his wristwatch to stop time, saving Glenn. What? How? I don't know. I really don't know. But stay with me. This has got to get resolved somehow. The end. Nice. I have another one for you, back to back. This one's called "A Space Heater Would Have to Be Huge." "Well, it's time to clean my dad," Renee says, pouring the blood of a dead priest from a mason jar into a 1-liter Voss water bottle in her kitchen. Renee's dad seems normal in almost all regards, but he has somehow convinced his family and close friends to take turns cleaning him with the blood of dead holy men. Also, Renee's dad is nicknamed the human car alarm because when people scare him, he makes loud car alarm sounds, and it takes over 5 minutes to get him to stop. Well, anyway, on this day, Renee approaches her dad, and Renee is wearing a monocle for some reason. Actually, there is no reason. I take that back. And she is holding the blood bottle. Anyway, Renee's dad is scared by the monocle, and Renee's dad starts making car alarm sounds very loudly. It's awkward. It seems really immature of him. But it's actually just a reaction, like an allergy. Nothing he can do about it. Well, Renee's mom walks in from the other room. She says, "Dear God, Renee, what did you do now to the human car alarm? Our dear father." All of a sudden, a dead clown falls out of the ceiling of their home onto the sofa next to Renee's dad. Everyone goes silent. There is a note in the dead clown's hand. Renee says, "Now what could that little note say?" She goes over to look at it. The note says, "Hee hee. Nothing else." The end. Wow. Fantastic literature, you know. When I was writing this book, I realized that I was using clowns as a prop in this way that there's those dead clown stories, but there's also 2 stories that use live clowns, where in both of the stories, something is happening, okay, and then a bunch of clowns burst in, and sort of kooky, walking, running around the room, masturbating, and all that stuff. and so it's kind of funny that I was using clowns in this very prop-like way. And I wasn't really thinking about their humanity, But it is actually true that clowns are actually human beings under there. And, there could be an off-duty clown in the midst of us right now, and we wouldn't even know. They're not that different from you and I. So, that was a bit of something that I had to learn and reflect upon. So, last night in Manchester, I was telling the audience that I need to memorize all the percentage of water content of various fruits and vegetables. Like, for example, watermelon is 92% water. Those types of facts. I did some work on that this morning, although I was not able to find a comprehensive list of all them. But if anybody wants to shout out some fruits and vegetables, I can tell you if I know the water content percentage.
Kiwi.
Kiwi? No. I ate some today. I was thinking about that earlier. I don't have that one yet.
63%.
Is it really? Are you making it up? You trying to fool somebody? What's the other ones?
Banana.
Banana, 74%.
Orange.
87%.
Pineapple.
I believe that one is 87 as well.
They all 87.
Huh?
They all 87.
No. Huh?
What about normal apple?
Apples are 84%.
Alright.
Yeah.
Kumquat.
I don't have that one.
Grape.
Grapes, 81%.
Is that including the stalk or just the...
I'm thinking just the part that you eat, but I don't really know. Anybody got any others?
Strawberry?
Huh? Strawberry? Strawberry is 92%. Right up there with watermelon. Can you believe it? Hard to believe.
No, raspberry.
What about lemons?
Nah, I don't know lemons.
What about 2 pears?
2 pears? Oh, that would be, I think they're 84%. Yeah.
What's
Both of
about
them,
raspberry?
Raspberry? I I think those might have been 87 as well. I can't remember for sure. Yeah. I can shout out some other ones for you, you know. You know what? One thing that's wild is that Iceberg Lettuce is 96%. And people always use that as a way to say that Iceberg Lettuce doesn't have any nutrients. They're like, oh, it's 96% water, there's no nutrients. It's just, there's no point in eating Iceberg Lettuce because it's basically just water. Well, all these other really nutritious fruits and vegetables are also 90-some% water. Frickin' broccoli is 91%, cauliflower is 92%, spinach is 92%, radish is 95%. What are you saying back there? How much are we? I don't know. I heard something that was 60%. I don't know if that's true. I gotta look into that more. Anyway. White potatoes, 79%.
Chickpea.
Chickpea, I don't know that one yet. Okay, good job. We did good. Cherries, 81%. Apricot, 86. Peach, 88. Okay. Who's excited about that waxing moon? It's probably up right now. It might be setting.
Yeah, it's probably over there already.
Waxing means that it's getting bigger each day, so we're working toward the full moon. My UK tour has perfectly aligned with the waxing moon. I entered the UK and it was a waxing crescent. It was a very thin, it was a little fingernail moon. And by the time I leave, it's going to be full moon. So I'm here for the whole ascension with you all. We're rising up together. We can do it! Woohoo! I don't know what to do. I'm gonna read this one called Santa Claus is Coming to Town. More like Santa Claus 2 is coming to town, lol. Once upon a time, there was a person named Kirsten who was 90. Well, she was farming outside in 11,000 degree hot weather. It was dang hot. And Kirsten kept saying slang words like, "This is scorching. This is very warm. Hot mama, this is what I call hot." And she said, "This is too hot. I'm scared of becoming dehydrated or getting heat stroke." Lastly, she said, "I'm burning up like a Jonas." It was really weird of her, but some local newscasters got word of her catchy sayings, and they actually honored her as a local spoken word author. Kirsten got a book deal on Penguin Classics. Her book was called I Love Calculator. It's a math book. Wow. What's her secret? I don't know. The end. Okay. Okay. I don't know exactly what I want to read here. I guess I will read this one. It's kind of interesting because was anybody here at the thing in the afternoon that I did at the Leads for Syria thing?
My friend was, but...
Oh yeah, but nobody here was? So I could do the exact same set and you guys wouldn't even know. I was trying to not repeat a ton from that, and I was also trying to not repeat everything from Manchester last night because Zach is here from Manchester, he was also there. And, but I'm gonna repeat some stuff because I don't give a rat's ass. Okay, this is my poem that sort of shit talks the police. In the United States, it's a very big issue, police brutality and police violence. The police kill about 1,000 people a year in the United States, and they disproportionately kill poor people of color, who then, when you hear about these killings on the news or something, which they don't get covered on the news unless it's a particular case where there was like video evidence or something, but the way the newscasters always frame it is like they refer to the people who got killed as criminals, as suspects. They talk about their criminal past. They talk about how they were reaching for a gun or something, or that they were running away. But it's always it's wild to me that they are so reluctant to ever admit that the police officers did wrong. You know, and that the police officers never get convicted for murder, even when there's tons of protests about it and there's video evidence of it. The police officers never get convicted for murder, and in essence, they can kill whoever they want. And I was thinking about this also because I was thinking of other stuff too, that especially that I think about in relation to the United States and the culture there. And I was thinking about how I was learning about the genocide that occurred where the United States is, and all the millions of Native Americans that were killed when the Columbus and everybody came there. And it's wild because it's very well known by all the scholars and everything, but they still teach our kids in the United States that Christopher Columbus is like a cool explorer, and that he discovered America rather than steal it and kill everybody who lived there. And so it's like I'm recognizing this pattern of U.S. state power, and probably all state power, and maybe all power in general, but just this unwillingness to admit wrongdoing. They'll never admit that they've incredibly fucked up and try to better it. They'll just say, no, this is good. We've been doing good. The police are not fucking up at all. We didn't ruin tons of people's lives by coming to this country and doing this and everything. So anyway, this is my poem to shit talk the police. The blue of the police officer's uniform is blue, but it is not like the blue of the sky. It is not like it is the inside of the sky looking at the rest of the sky, or anything like the gigantic water, or the feather of a bird from somewhere that has colorful birds. The blue on the police officer's uniform is not alive. It does not breathe, or have tears. It doesn't shake. There's no laughter in the color. There's no morning sky anywhere which looks this color of blue. It is like the blue color of something that has been dead. It is like when you took all of the blood out of the animal, and their body is hanging in the room, and the room is silent. The blue is like the emptiness of the floor in the room, where the sound is empty, and the blood is empty, and everything is hollow in the silent room where the animal is dead. And there's no birds in here. There's no birds at all. Yeah, you guys. This one, if a horse was a human being, that's me, dude. That's literally who I am. I'm peeing inside a jewel case of a CD right now. Nice. I will just read maybe 2 more things before I am done. And by the way, so both of these books were books that I released last year, self-published them, and they are available through the internet in multiple forms. So it is pretty expensive to get them shipped here, and I unfortunately was not able to take any with me on this trip. But if you go to my website, steveroggenbuck.com, there's on the sidebar there's a link that says books, and they have these 2 books and some other older books, and you can read the PDFs for pay whatever you want, or you can pay nothing and read them, or you can order the print of these 2 if you like, and this one I even have an audiobook format, so you can check out me reading them all to you. But anyway, I'm going to read this story called White Owl Drop That 79. And it's kind of an interesting thing for me because this sentence, White Owl Drop That 79, was something I posted on my Justin Bieber fan Twitter account back in like 2011. And it didn't get that much love on there. People didn't really care about this tweet that much. I thought it was kind of a funny sentence. White Owl Drop That 79. I'm like, that's pretty random, dude. It's in a funny way to me. I was like, I can't even imagine what that would mean. The only thing I could come up with that gives it any sense is if White Owl is a DJ or something, and they're saying, White Owl, drop that 79. And I still don't know what the 79 is, and it still doesn't really make that much sense, but it was like, it's just kind of a good sounding sentence that it was really bizarre to me. So anyway, I like it a lot. I posted on my Justin Bieber fan Twitter account. Nobody gets it. Fine. That's Justin Bieber fan Twitter account. And then I retweet it on my own account. I thought more people would get it because I had more followers on there. It's more people with similar taste and sense of humor. But no, people didn't like it really that much. A lot of people did not fave it. They said, this is not my favorite. And then I was putting together this book, and I was using, for the story titles, I was using a lot of tweets, because I like that, doing that. And I decided to use this line anyway, because I was really thinking about this principle that I was feeling very much in my creative work, which is that I realized that it's really important for me sometimes to honor doing exactly what I love as an artist, rather than only doing kind of what I love and kind of also acknowledging what other people like. Sometimes it's really important to just do exactly what I love 100%, because it has different effects. And people might think that it's going to be more helpful to tailor your work kind of to what other people like. But I don't think that's really helpful that often, because you might get more people who are interested, but I think it's going to be less of a quality interest, because you can't really guess what other people are going to like that much. You can try to be like, oh, I'm going to pander to this thing that people seem to respond to, but you're not really going to come up with anything unique and special and amazing if you're just like trying to feel out what other people like. You can only really come up with like genius new ideas if you're working from your own heart, and then your heart will lead you to them in a weird way. You know what I'm talking about? And also, when you work really passionately on doing exactly what you love, then it becomes a fuel for you. The excitement of doing the work that, for me, for example, makes me giggle so hard writing these stupid stories, and I'm just sitting there laughing my ass off all night typing these, and then that allows me to put in the work all night, every day, you know, just again and again and again and again, because I love doing it, so why would I ever want to stop? And then over the course of years of doing that, you get pretty good at what you do, because you're doing exactly what you love. You love doing it all the time, so of course you're going to get good at it over time. Whereas if you're trying to pander to what other people like, you're probably not going to enjoy it as much. I've done this with some videos. You can't ignore the feedback totally, right? It's like a lot of artists who get big through some big publisher or through some record label, they have like an editor or manager or somebody else telling them like, oh, you should write this type of song, or you should write this type of story, because that's what people are going to like more. And I didn't have that, because I just built my name through the internet. But what I do have is every day when I post stuff, I get feedback immediately in the form of likes and comments and shares and retweets and all that. And so I still get this sense of what people kind of want to hear from me the most. But, so I've had certain times when I've played toward that a little bit more or less, And it's like, it's a world of difference in terms of how fun it is for me. And then also, I think it really does make it more, I feel like people are going to have a more passionate connection to it if you are going 100% from your heart, because if you think about like what makes a favorite artist or something, or like what, for me, it's like my favorite artists are always the people who are doing something that nobody else is doing, and it's like a specifically really good thing that only they're doing, you know? And there's such a difference between, like, if you think of musicians, for example, there's probably like, everybody in here could probably list off like 50 or 100 or maybe 500 even if you're really reaching, of like musicians that you like to listen to, that you can listen to, that you have like an album to buy them that you think is pretty good or something. But you might only have like 1 or 2 or 3 like favorite musicians or favorite artists, you know, and it's just like it's on a whole different level. It like means something way more to you than just being like pretty good music. And so I think what I aim at by doing exactly what I love is to aim at being that favorite level for somebody, because I feel like that's a lot more special. And then people get a lot more passionate about it. You know what I'm talking about? Whoop whoop. So that's a little bit why I titled this White Owl Drop That 79, even though it's a bad title according to people's reaction to it on the internet, probably. Nice. Let's go see Ozzy Osbourne live. I love the philosophy of his music. Amanda says this to the cat she lives with, who is named Blanket. Well, Amanda calls Ticketmaster. She gets on the line with a live representative. She says, I'm taking my cat with me to see Ozzy Osbourne. I hope he signs an autograph. She hangs up. Amanda did not buy tickets on the phone call. Amanda goes online. She buys a motorcycle on eBay. Then Amanda buys a motorcycle on Craigslist. Then Amanda buys a homemade motorcycle on Etsy. Outside, there is hard rain getting pushed by the wind, hitting the windows and the sides of the house. It sounds amazing on the sides of the house. Rain sounds amazing when it hits almost any surface. Suddenly now, in this moment, Blanket, a previously non-speaking cat, actually starts to speak. What? This is a very rare treat. Let's listen in. Hey Amanda, and all of you watching at home. I just wanted to say something. We all get fears and disempowering thoughts which may prevent us from taking action on the things we really care about. Fear of failure, fears of what others might think of us, or feelings like maybe we don't actually deserve something we want, etc., etc. But if we can just acknowledge those fears and disempowering thoughts for what they are, thoughts in our head, not truths in the world, then that gives us a little space in which we can decide not to act on them. Then we have space to choose to act in alignment with our values and long-term goals instead of our fears. Then we have space to choose to be brave. Wow. I actually really like that. It sounds corny, but I think that could actually benefit me a lot. I want to be brave if I can. Thanks, Blanket. The end. Almost done. I'm going to read one more story, but I do also have to ask this. There's a story in here that I titled Poop into a Champagne Flute so it fills the exact diameter. Now, you guys know what a champagne flute is, right? It's the thin little glass. Now, has anybody tried this, pooping into one so that it fills the exact diameter? Raise your hands in the air. Nobody. See, this is always the case. Nobody ever raised their hand for it, and I think it's not. I think people have tried it, but they're just afraid to admit it publicly, which is fine. I understand. But let me just ask you this: if you have tried that,